going on is that this is just a route that is called a special route. This is special route 1. Yeah, special route 1. It's really not that special one, really, but I call it special route. I call these special routes because they're like, I record them out of nowhere. It's a nice day, nothing to do at the house. Father had their walk, their teas, their training, and now I just thought myself, she needs a break from me, I need a break from her, and she's outside, she's okay, she's happy. So I thought I'd do this route while I'm doing someone else's present. And by the way, the present is about 45% done, so it's almost there. So I need to get a couple of things before it actually gets up to about 75%, because it catches really, really quickly. So this is sort of like a get there, get it, get something that I wanted, and get back. Because this is going to be a very long video. Yeah. And plus this will test the video quality for long distancing and battery life. Yeah, because right now it's at 60% battery. Yeah, so I do hope it does charge the battery. Yeah. So I might talk a little bit to keep me awake and keep me alive, all that stuff. You might hear me mumble along for something. I don't know what, but I will. Yeah. So I could be quiet for a bit. Concentration. Yeah. It's a nice motorhome. Yes, we'll call them motorhomes, not RVs. Just call them motorhomes. One's thinking getting one. Let's go through. DS3 for sale. A Citroen DS3 for sale. That's desperate, isn't it? Yeah. You see, Citroen in UK, well, Citroen in car terms, in the car nerds like me, I'm a car nerd. Everyone can tell by that because I'm a car nerd. And if somebody says, oh, I got a Citroen on a Renault, on a Peugeot, to us saying, are you really that daft or are you really that stupid? How long do you reckon it's going to last? Because it's French. French engineering is not its best. Today's world, they're not its best because they're just, their engine's not really well built, not really that reliable. Same thing with Fiats. The The newer cars of the Fiats are a little bit better because they owned by Chrysler. Chrysler doing really, really well for their engineering. Well done for them. But Fiat back in the day, they were good. They were just sort of like alright at a certain point, and then it started to break down a little bit. I used to have a Fiat, I used to have two Fiats actually. I used to have a Fiat Puntos. Yeah, both the same colour. One of them was like slightly younger than the other. So anyway, I had my first Fiat I had for 3 years, and my second Fiat I had that for 7 years because it was a little bit more reliable. What the hell's going on here? Ooh, nice. Getting some new cars out. That's nice. That's the car, guys. It's closed, mate. Anyway, what I was saying about French cars, I'm not really sure about French cars. I used to have one. My first car was a Citroen Saxo. That was my first car. It was a 1.1 litres, and I only had it for like 8 months till the engine exploded. Yeah. And I had a Micra, I had a Rover 414i, which was one of the best cars I ever driven because it was massive. The other downside of that car was it was a guzzler. It was a fuel guzzler, and I wasn't not making out much money back then. No, it was a guzzler. It was. And I had two Fiats and this. This is my daily car right now, which is a Seat Mia. MII, and it's a 2012, and I had it for 5 years. I had it for 6 years actually. Yeah, so I love this car. It's nice. It's got everything you want on it. It's got sat nav. It's got no cruise control. I don't really want cruise control. No, it's got aircon. It's got Bluetooth. It's got the old-fashioned Bluetooth. Electric windows, electric mirrors. Yeah, it's perfect. All my previous cars, I had electric roofs as well, but I found out the electric roofs versions tend to be very, very rare around the UK. But I like this car. It's done a lot of mileage though. 142,668 miles. Yeah. And when I first got her, I had her for like 2 years. When I first got her 2 years time, all I needed to change was brakes, disc, brakes, clutch, and that's it. That was 3 years ago. Yeah. And she went through COVID as well. Yeah, she's one of the survivors. I do look after her, I do clean her. Yeah. I do maintain her. So she's my baby. Yeah. So the other cars are just like projects, really. Yeah. Projects. It's like I'm bored. Let's try and get that. Yeah. also a car nerd, a game nerd, engine nerd, of course, and an RC model sort of person as well. Yeah. RC means remote control cars. Remote control. Let's see. What else is there? Music terms. I'm more into 80s and 90s and 2000s sort of era. The new songs I don't mind, but it's just that they're just like copying each other. Just changing it. Oh, that's a lovely dog. I do like my dogs. I do, yeah. As you can tell. Anyway, yeah. Music terms, I like 80s and 90s and 2000s. But that's the point. I stopped getting interested in music is the point where you get some artists are like brand new ones. So, like for example, I saw my mate saying to, have you heard of this? What's her name? Sabrina Carpenter, something like that. My mates are saying, "Are you heard about her?" And I went, "No." So I looked her up and I thought, oh right, she was on Disney or Nickelodeon, whatever. Now I know the fact it happened before with Miley Cyrus. She went to Hannah Montana, because I know that because I used to watch it years ago. And it's like every time they leave the Disney business, they go AWOL. They do. It's like it's like they can do anything they want, but they go a bit overboard. Yeah. See, I used to call the old Miley when she was making really good songs. The old Miley, yeah. And the new Miley, I heard that she's coming back to music industry because she sort of left it with the old album, and then I heard about rumours. I don't know if it's rumours or news, but likely that one of the songs was a copy of another song that she didn't get permission to do it. So that's when she went bye bye. That's awesome. But hey, that's business, isn't it? Artists, they always want their copyright. Some artists don't know what copyright is, some artists do. Yeah. So that's it, that's that. So I'm 80s, 90s and 2000s. Sometimes I like to listen to the 60s, rock and roll 60s, like AC/DC or that stuff. Yeah. I prefer songs that call them pick-me-ups, you know, just use your imagination and all that stuff. Yeah. I like the songs that you call them pick-me-ups. You get excited, all that stuff. Like I like Freebird, AC/DC, one of those songs. They're called pick-me-ups. Yeah. So the car nerd term. Oh, Ferrari. Not Ferrari. That was a Lotus. Oh, I thought that was a Ferrari. That was a Lotus. Lotus Elise. I still see it. It's an RS1. That's nice. Yeah. The car nerd terms, I think I got it off my dad. Yeah, but he lost interest. I stuck to my interest. Yeah. But I'm more into the 70s, 80s and 90s sort of cars now. Yeah. I know this is a 2012 model I'm driving now, but this reminds me of those days. It's simple. Yeah. I do like my JDMs. I do. I do like my German cars, the old German cars. I think the point when I think it's around about 2007 when the cars started getting better, got interesting, because I think the European was testing their emissions tests or something like that, because I remember the Mercedes have the AMG engines, you know, the big V8s, something like that. Yeah, that was interesting. What the hell? It's got a license. What an idiot. And also I like modified cars. It gets me interest. But I quite like muscle cars. Yeah. 70s muscle cars. Definitely. 60s and 70s muscle cars. Started playing games in 1989. Yeah, 1989. The first one, I'm sorry about this, Claire. The first actual ever game console was actually a Mario. It was actually not Mario, sorry, Nintendo. Yeah, it was a Super Nintendo. Mine was. Yeah. And then the story goes that my dad's mate had Sega, and I was interested in Sega because I had Sonic on it. And back then I didn't know Sonic. No, I was more interested in Sonic. Yeah. And so I was, split in between, because Nintendo was releasing the first ever, sort of like my first ever racing game. What's this guy doing? Thank you. Yeah. The first ever racing game was called Top Gear, but in real terms it's called Top Racer. Yeah. And that was my first racing game. And many years later they brought it back for PlayStation and Xbox, and I got it on my PlayStation and I play it sometimes to feel I'm young again. But yeah, and then ever since I was into PlayStation in the 90s, 1995. To PS2, PS3, PS4, now PS5. I'm basically a PlayStation nerd. I am, but respectively, I'm more like a retro sort of game nerd. there was a project, you see, on the left, and what we were going to do, they was going to reopen that track for the public on this side, on the right hand side, for the public on the right hand side. They want to use the train network, the railway network, to go to whatever there is, because that railway actually connects to Hull station. Yeah. It's such a lovely sunny day today. Yeah. It is 16.5 degrees outside. lights, you can see it from the back. Yeah. Yes, technically you can go down Beverly. Beaver. Sorry. Yes, technically you can go down Beverly, down this way, but it's like the very long way around to get to Beverly. Yeah. Because I know I did a Beverly video. Everybody liked it because it's a Beverly Beaver route. Oh, can't wait to see her. She's gonna kill me. Yes. Yes. That's just stupid. Wait a minute, I'm confused. Oh, it's on that side. Oh, okay. It's on that side. Woo! Because you never know that trick on to you. Average speed cameras are really fucking anal. I do. Actually do hope that there's no average speed cameras all the way. That's just got a fully fit on the line back. There is an average speed camera force. Yeah. I'm really surprised that you Americans don't have that sort of thing, average speed cameras. Just use a lot of coppers to do it. Everybody's sticking at 60. Okay. Might as well stick at 60. Cave area. We were going past that South Cave area. Yeah. South Cave is basically what animal welfare is. My mate Claire used to volunteer for like 7 years. Well, she worked for 5 hours for 7 years. And it's still there today. It hasn't been torn down or anything like that, but it's just that they're not really interested in volunteers, they're now interested in paid staff to do it now. Yeah. And it's a real shame that we made Claire had to leave because of the COVID. I had to leave because of COVID. Yeah. And I went back for a bit to see what they want, and then sometimes they want me there and back if they want to. Yeah. So I'm still there, but sort of kind of lost interest really. Yeah. But I still like my animals. South Cave.